Age 21.2 by Ewan Cochrane. So firstly, what we're going to look at is the cultural stereotypes that come across with age. So society creates its own vision as to what is stereotypically like correct. So for example, elderly people, older people play lawn bowls, whereas young fit males play football and young fit females do gymnastics. This is typically, I'd say, probably because older people lose their range of flexibility. So as you get older, you lose your range of flexibility. I'll explain that later on. Furthermore, there are stereotypes within particular sports as well. So the example that I'm going to use is within football. Like, what is the correct age to retire? Many retire like mid to late 30s. However, Gianluigi Buffon, he's a goalkeeper for PSG and he's 41 years old, so he's still playing at an elite level. And there's probably older players as well, but this is just the specific one. This is usually because physiological factors that change within the body as you age. These will be explained throughout the presentation. And there are a few opportunities available for older people who stereotypically are unable to play particular sports. So, for example, they have walking football for older men, I know in particular, and there's also veterans football, which is 35 plus. So, what is the definition of aging or age? The definition of aging from the Oxford Dictionary is the length of time that a person has lived or a thing has existed. But there are two types of aging. There are biological and chronological. So chronological age is the number of years a person has been alive for. So if you're born in 2000 and it's 2019, you're 19. Biological age, though, refers to how old a person seems. So they may, the example I'm going to use is Cristiano Ronaldo is chronologically aged 33 until the 5th of February, which was yesterday, so now he's 34. But he biologically is the age of a 23-year-old because he's like physically fit. So the first bit I'm going to look at is part of the skeletal system. So as you get older, your bone density decreases. So as a result of this, and bone density decreases after menopause in women as well. And this is known as osteoporosis. And basically, because the bones become weaker, they become more fragile. So that means they're more susceptible to breaking, to cracking, basically just getting injured. And this can be resolved or maintained a little better if you increase your calcium intake, as this maintains the bone health to keep it healthier, and also maintain a level of physical activity. So if your bones are really brittle, you don't want to be doing really heavy impact, but maybe some light jogging, so there's still a little bit of impact going through the bone. And this will help slow the process down. Furthermore, cartilage gets thinner. So with age, your cartilage wears down, and this is known as osteoarthritis. So it is less resistant, and then it can do increased damage, and your joints become really stiff as well. And the ways around this is to have surgery, or you can get basically the surgery process. They drill around the bone marrow, and it tricks it to grow in the cartilage back again, basically. Or you can get replacement, so cartilage elsewhere around the body. So putting this into a flow diagram, essentially, so the cartilage gets thinner, you get stiff joints. Ways around this is you can maintain exercise as well, or do some exercise rather than doing all the surgery, and that is swimming, because there's no impact, but it still works the joint, it's still moving it. And this increases the synovial fluid around the joint, which lubricates the joint, which prevents it from being stiff. And then this synovial fluid will improve the cartilage health and sometimes help it get back. Oh, sorry, the phone's on. And Another thing with the skeletal system is young age children, they're best to do bodyweight exercise, and this is because they don't want to be doing resistance as it could damage their growth plates, and this could stint their growth, so this could affect them growing later on in life. And the example I'm going to use in particular, a sporting example for this, is Ledley King. He's an ex-Tottenham football player and he was their captain, and he had osteoarthritis in both of his knees. And this was because he had no cartilage there, and this meant he constantly played in pain. And his routine was, on a match week, he would train the day before the match day with the team, so this would be tactics and formations and all that kind of stuff, and then play the match, and then the players would say he would not be seen until the following match week and the day before the game again. So this actually forced him to retire at the age of 31, and as I said earlier, you're looking at mid-30s, late 30s, footballers generally retire. Additionally, he did not do any impact training, and he trained in a swimming pool to protect his knees and to help keep the cartilage healthy, what was left of it. So he had his own private gym, essentially, inside a swimming pool. So now we're going to have a look at muscular system. So muscle mass does start to decrease at the age of 45 in men and women. And after 70, men lose about 4.7% of their muscle mass and women lose 3.7%. Men is more, this is because, I'll get onto it later on, but they have more testosterone than women. And that helps muscular growth. And number of motor units decrease, so reactions start to become quicker. So, for example, in a sport like table tennis, if the reactions start to get slower, you may not be able to return the ball and be as quick with your rallies to outwit the opponent. So again, typically you see those sort of players retire quite early. And a few key words here is sarcopenia is the loss of muscle mass alongside strength, and pre-sarcopenia is just the loss of muscle mass. And then the sporting example I'm going to use here for muscular system is in the London 2012 Olympics, the average age for a gymnast, for a female, was 20 years old. And that is because at a younger age you have a wider range of flexibility around the joint, and that gets worse with age as well. The endocrine system. So the endocrine system looks specifically at hormones. So the first hormone, well, they all decrease. The first one that decreases is the growth hormone. So decrease and testosterone. So decreasing growth and testosterone hormones result in the muscular strength and mass decreasing. For example, linking this to a sprinter, as they age and their levels decrease, they are therefore unable to create a large force as they used to, resulting in retirement at an earlier age than some sports professionals. For example, Buffon, 41. So that was mainly aimed at, for example, someone like Usain Bolt. He's obviously he's not ridiculously old as he's not as old as Buffon, but he can't generate as much force anymore because of these two factors decreasing. And there's a decrease in estrogen, and this is because of menopause, which then leads on to osteoporosis, which sadly does lead on to fat buildup and fragile bones, as I mentioned earlier. And then there's a decrease in melatonin, and this actually means you're going to get less sleep, which means that you have less time to rest and recovery. And then overall, this does decrease your confidence, because if you've got less muscular strength, you're building more fat and you're getting less sleep, so you're less rest, you're more tired. It will decrease your confidence. You won't feel confident about yourself and doing all this exercise you used to do. And the ways around this is you can have hormone replacement therapy, or you can maintain a higher level of exercise to keep your muscle mass high. But again, as we said, you start to become more tired. So the metabolism, thermoregulation, and body composition. As your age increases, your metabolism decreases and your fat increases. And so as people age, they maintain the same diet and the same amount of exercise, but their metabolism changes. So they start to gain weight and lose muscle mass. So metabolism is basically how much energy your body is burning or using. And people do this at rest, but as it decreases, if you carry on eating the same amount and doing the same amount of exercise, you'll start to put on weight. And sweat glands weaken, so old people find it hard to sweat, and there is also a delay when it comes to sweating. And then linking these two, to maintain muscle mass and not to gain fat mass, the person needs to regularly exercise more, but with age you get exhausted easier, and this is due to the sweat glands, and they can't get rid of the heat. Essentially, you can't cool down as well. As a result, it takes an elderly person twice as long to return to their normal resting temperature to a younger person. Therefore, it's advised that elderly people do little and often to prevent exhaustion and to also cut a little bit of the amount of food they're used to eating. Respiratory system. So the alveoli eventually decreases in shape after 35 years of age. And there is also a decrease in lung volume and expansion. And this graph on the right, it basically shows what I'm about to explain is peak flow decreases after the age of 30 to 35 years old. And that is probably because the alveoli decreases in shape and basically it just becomes less efficient. And both for men and women, it decreases. Well, for men, it's from between 30 and 40, and women, it's between 30 and 35. You start to see a decrease in peak flow. This is because the lung walls become thicker. As a result, they cannot expand as much as they used to. So it's bringing in less oxygen, and as a result, has a smaller volume. Furthermore, because the respiratory muscles have become weaker, so if the diaphragms become weaker, less air is going to be brought in to the lungs. To improve or to maintain it, old people can do diaphragmatic breathing. Cardiovascular system. So the main key pointers is the heart loses elasticity, there's an increase in blood pressure with age, blood vessels become less flexible, less movable, and the blood volume decreases. So with older age, the heart does lose elasticity, and that is because the walls become thicker. The blood pressure also increases because the blood vessels are no longer as flexible because they have also become thicker, and they cannot adapt shape as easier. So it's because they become thicker, it's harder to thermodilate and constrict. Furthermore, the baroreceptors become less sensitive as well, and the baroreceptor's job is to detect the change in blood pressure. This makes blood flow much harder as you age because cholesterol builds up in the arteries. Lastly, the blood volume decreases because there is less fluid in the bloodstream. And linking this to a sport example then, at a younger age, you can do all these marathons, for example, much quicker than an older person would, because if your heart loses elasticity and the blood vessels cannot handle the high blood pressure, then you're unable to get the blood efficiently back to your muscles. That's the end. Where's the stop?